Hello and welcome back to my craft room. Well, it's time to have a play with my Oo-er box. So this is the second Oo-er box. We did one in January and now we're doing one in March. It's a little mini collaboration I'm doing with my friend Johnny of Just Johnny Creations here on YouTube and Instagram. I will link to him below. So what we're doing is once every couple of months we're putting together a little box of craft supplies. We're supposed to spend not more than £10. Johnny went over a bit this time. He told me he went £2.30 over. We can add in a few bits from our stash, and we can also add in a few bits from our stash when we're creating whatever we create with the box. We had a blast last time. We really had fun with it, and this time I think it's going to be just the same. Johnny's unboxing of mine was hilarious, and Ziggy, his cat Ziggy, definitely stole the show. If you haven't already seen that, do go and check it out. I will link to him anyway. So let's have a look at what Johnny sent me, because I've already done one video doing the unboxing, and now it's just going to be my first time having a play with the contents. Here we go. Here's what Johnny sent. It's everything I need to make my own watercolour paints. So I've got 3 pigments: cadmium vermilion, cadmium yellow pale, and ultramarine blue. These have all come from Jackson's by the look of it, and he also sent me some gum arabic, which is what you use to bind the pigments. Now, and lots of other things as well. There's some droppers, there's a brush, there's a little stirring stick, and the watercolour pans and half pans. Now Johnny mixed his directly into the pan, and he sent me this little stick like the one that he used. Isn't pretty for stirring, because he said it was really good for getting into the corners. And there's some other things as well. I can't wait to see how the watercolour sponge eraser works. Now I had a bit of a look online first before I get started. I'll have a look to see how other people do this. Johnny seemed to work really well. He just used a little scoop, put some of the pigment in the half pan or the pan, and added a few drops of gum arabic and stirred it till it looked right and let it dry overnight, and it seemed to work really well. But a lot of people seem to use other things mixed in. So one of the things is honey, and I happen to have some honey. It's quite posh, expensive honey, and it's not the squeezy kind, so it might not be the best. But apparently this helps to kind of retain moisture when you come to, it stops it going too kind of hard and cracking and stuff. People also use glycerin, which again can help with the kind of re-wetting and stuff. Apparently there's also ox gall, and like a synthetic ox gall. I'm not sure what that does, but it's something that comes up a lot. Clove oil, I think, is just to help with the preserving. And I've heard people talk about distilled water in the binder as well. I mean, this gum arabic looks pretty dilute already, doesn't it? So anyway, I haven't got any of those other things, but I do have the honey, so I thought I might as well put some in, and we'll see. Because Dawn sent me some watercolour paints that she made herself, and they were lovely. 3 different, couple of different earthy colours and a Prussian blue, absolutely beautiful. And I know she uses organic honey from Belize, where she lives, in hers, and she uses ox gall as well, I believe. So I'm just going to go with what I've got. Johnny seemed to work fine with just the gum arabic and the pigments. I've looked at, from all the things I've been looking at online, sometimes it comes in, initially the gum arabic comes in these big kind of giant crystal looking things that you grind down. It looks like really hard work, or you can get it in powder form. This seems to be the easiest way, though. This liquid form seems to be good, and I'm assuming I can probably use one of these droppers that Johnny's put in to drop it onto my thing. Now I want to try, because I've seen other people doing this mulling thing. They use a sanded glass surface and a glass kind of like an upside down mushroom shaped thing that they kind of not grind it, because it's already pretty fine powder, and I don't think I'm going to get it much finer, but apparently that helps to really work the pigment into the binder and make sure it is all bound properly, so that when you then paint with it, it won't come off when you rub it. I'm thinking I'm going to want a little something to scoop with. So what I'm thinking I'm going to use, I've got my glass mat here, and you see people doing it, they've got it all over this huge mat, and then they have to get a big palette knife and scrape it all up. But I'm going to try and keep it fairly small and contained. I've got a bit of tissue there to clean up because I couldn't find my rag. I've got a teaspoon for my honey. I've got this thing which is, it's like a stainless steel, I think they call it a stainless steel soap. I used to have it on the side of the sink, and it's supposed to take the smell of garlic and onions off your hands if you run it under cold water with this. I don't think it works too well, but rather than throw it away, I thought it might have a use in my craft room. So I'm thinking I'm going to try this. And then I've got a palette knife to kind of keep it all under control and eventually scoop my beautiful paint into a half pan. I think it might be difficult just doing tiny quantities that I want to do, so yeah, that might be difficult, but hey ho, I can't help that. And what I'm going to aim to do is mix up one of each of the primary colours, and then I'd like to also mix the secondary colours. So I want to do a green, a purple and an orange. So that's enough. That's what I'm going to tackle today, just to get the feel of it. Let's go for the yellow first. I don't know why, it just feels so scary. It's quite sort of almost, it's finely ground, but you can see it's quite kind of granular in the pot. I need to feel it with my fingers just once. Oh yeah, but when you do that, yeah, it's not gritty. It looks like it's going to feel gritty, but it doesn't. Oh, look at the patterns on there. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit there. I don't really know how much I want. That might be too much. I think Johnny was putting like a couple of scoops in a pan. Let's get a pan ready. Let's put a little bit of my honey. I've absolutely no idea about quantities. I'm going to make it up as it goes along. This honey is lovely. Do you think it's going to be too much? The videos I've been watching, they seem to put quite a lot, but I don't know. Surely it can't need more honey than pigment. I'm going to take some of that away. I want to lick it, but I'm not going to because I've got to make another lot yet. Oh, okay. Sniff test. Oh, funny smell. I wonder if it will set. Yes, it probably will set in this dropper, so I need to rinse the dropper out or just treat it as disposable. I'm going to drop that on there. Oh, look. Okay. What do we think? Kind of feel like that's probably enough. I might regret that amount of honey. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm going to just start mixing it. Try and keep it sort of under control with a palette knife. Oh, it's fun to play with. Looks pretty pigmented, doesn't it? Right, let's just put that there. And I'm going to try my version of this mulling thing. I'm all sticky now with the honey. And people seem to do this for quite a long time. But then I've only got a tiny amount here. I feel like an alchemist or something. I feel like I should go on longer because you just see people like really doing this for ages, but it's quite a therapeutic process, quite relaxing. Let's hope I end up with enough left to go in a pan. Maybe I should aim it. I'll get a little half pan ready as well. It might make sense for me just to mix up one of each of the primary colours tonight and then come back tomorrow and see how they've set up. I don't know how long we're supposed to take to set up either. Did Johnny say overnight? Oh, I can smell honey. That's quite nice. I can imagine if you put the cloves in, that's probably a lovely smell. Well, I mean, it might not be as long as some of the tutorials I've been watching, but it is a tiny amount, and I don't think Johnny mixed his for much longer than that, and his worked. One lady I was watching said that as it dries it kind of sinks in, you get a dip in the middle, so then she refills them again, sometimes 2 or 3 times. It feels like it's not sort of thick, like it's too runny, like I want more pigment in there, but I don't know, because I can't sort of really pick it up very easily. I think I'm going to put more pigment. Oh, I might regret it. I don't know. Absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And I'm not being all scientific and keeping track either, am I? But you know. I think it probably is easier to get it thoroughly mixed doing it like this, but I wonder how much waste there's going to be when you're doing such a small amount. You know, the percentage of waste is a bit of a concern, isn't it? Beautiful yellow. Okay, I'm going to try getting it in the pan now. I might have made it too liquid, I don't know. If anybody's got any tips and advice, I won't be offended. Fire away. I haven't wasted an awful lot. And if that doesn't kind of disappear too much as it dries, then that's a reasonably... It's not filled the pan completely, but... The trouble is I won't be able to get it exactly the same now, will I? Because I haven't kept any record at all. I swore it was going to be really sticky, but actually there's a bit of a spritz of water that's come off really easily. Good, good, good. Let's try the red. Yeah, I'm thinking more and more I'm just going to, rather than risk wasting too much, I'm going to just do these 3 and then hopefully they won't take too long to dry out, and I'll make sure I'm doing it roughly right before I waste any of the pigment. I don't really got no idea on quantities, that's the trouble. I love how that drops like that. It's probably enough, I reckon. Okay, scoop this all together. Whoa, it's like making mud pies, only more colourful. Still got very vivid memory of making a mud pie when I was a kid and making it into a beautiful cake. And decorating it with leaves and flowers and things in like a symmetrical design. I can still see it really clearly in my mind's eye. They have special little mud pie kitchens for kids these days, don't they? There. Do you know, I'm not even going to bother with this because I think with that tiny amount that I've got there, I don't think I need it. That seems to have mixed together really well to me. Well, the smell of honey is lovely. If I had clove oil as well, it would be smelling delicious in here. Like winter mixture sweeties. Okay, well, doing this, even if you never do it again, it makes you appreciate the work that goes into the paints and things that we buy. Some of them are so expensive. I mean, I know, you know, the paints that I buy are not made by someone doing something like this. You know, there probably are paints that are still made like that and you can buy them. Definitely are people making handmade paints, but you know, I'm aware that a lot of it is mechanised and that now, but still there's a lot of process in it. And with some of the pigments, there's a lot of work involved. That's when you buy really good paints, they're all priced differently, aren't they? When, you know, different series within a brand of paint will be differently priced. That one was a better fill. Was it cadmium vermilion? Yeah. I'd love to get just a range of you know, paints that I can get all the, you know, so I can mix all the colours from it. I'm wondering whether to try some, Johnny tries some metallic in with his metallic pigment. I have got some mica powders, so I might have a go at mixing some mica powders with some of them, but I just want to make sure I've got the basic mixing technique. Well, I'm so pleased with just seeing those there and thinking that I made them. Oh, I really hope they set up properly and look like proper paint when I'm done. I know I'm not measuring, but I'm kind of, well, that's probably a bit more than the other two actually. Okay. So exciting. I'm having a lovely time. Thank you, Johnny. Because I need to put these somewhere to dry where nothing's good. I don't want bits falling in them or anything. Right, that's the last one I'm going to do in this session, so I'm going to lick spoon now. Oh, that is nice, honey. This is local to us here in Norwich. I don't really want to rinse this down the sink in case it sets up solid down my pipes. So I'm going to squeeze out what I can when I'm done, and then if it's blocked tomorrow I'm just going to have to waste it, which is a bit of a shame, but we've got bubbles in there now. It's not a good idea probably. I feel like that's probably enough. Right, let's scoop this in. I'm so enjoying this process. I do find it very relaxing. Oh, look at that luscious blue. Oh, hey. I'm going to enjoy this. It's very tempting to go straight ahead now and start mixing up some colours, but I really think it's a good idea to just make sure I've got the basic process sorted before because I don't want to waste these beautiful pigments. I had a quick look on the Jackson's website. Oh, there's a bewildering array of pigment powder that you can buy to do this. Oh, it would be very hard if I just told myself, okay, you can go in and buy, you know, 4 more. It'd be very difficult to choose. I can see why Johnny chose these for me, because they're sort of classic primary colours, aren't they? So that's a really good starting point. But if I went to buy some more, which ones? I will probably want to get myself some more of these half pans as well. But I was thinking that there are other things you could use, aren't there? Like, have I got any here? Typical, I haven't got one handy. But you know, when you get little quite flat bottle tops, even like those, the plastic milk bottles, the tops that go on there, you could use them, couldn't you? I've got somewhere, I need to dig it out, a lovely tin, a vintage tin that I've been saving for something that I picked up at a jumble sale or something years ago. And I've got some magnetic tape somewhere, so I can stick it on the bottom and make my paints stay put in the tin. Oh, this is lush. Dying to see how these perform. I'm hoping that going by instinct is going to work out okay for me. It wouldn't be too much hassle to get hold of some glycerin, and even the ox gall, you can get a vegetarian version, and the clove oil. I could probably get everything I needed in the local chemist, but I didn't want to wait. I just wanted to go ahead and try this now. And as I say, Johnny's worked out fine like this now. I've got less in there, but I'm not going to worry about that. Clean up is proving very, very easy, so that's nice. So let's put that in there, because I might decide to use that again. Let's put everything in here that I was going to squeeze out what I can of that gum arabic, because I have got a feeling it will set solid, won't it? So I'm going to put these somewhere safe. I'm hoping they'll dry up pretty quickly. Once they've dried, I'll come back and swatch them, and then we'll know if they're going to work or not. And I might need to just change my quantity, my ratio of ingredients. But yeah, I think I might put these over on the table out the way, and we'll see. I'm just quite excited just to see them there on the screen now. They look so cute. They look like proper paint, which is what they are. Very exciting. I'm gonna enjoy this whole process. Even if I have to tweak that a bit, I will. You know, it shouldn't take too much to get it to a workable recipe. And then I can start really playing with the colours and having a go with some mica powders and things. So that is, how long is that? It's not taken me too long. It's only about half an hour I've been playing around there. I'm gonna leave it there for today. And then next time I come back, I will try them out, then mix up some different colours, and after that then I'll actually do a painting. And Johnny gave me a prompt which was splatter, so that's perfect for this, isn't it? And I've got an idea for it already, so yeah, very excited about that. Thank you, Johnny. I'm having a marvellous time with this. See you again next time. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed that. And as I say, any tips, please leave them in the comments. I'm not going to be offended. I've got no idea what I'm doing. So thanks again, and I will see you again really soon.